You worked for VaynerMedia, which is a global creative and media agency. You worked there as a media analyst and buyer. What did you learn there that helped you with running your business now? And you might have already touched a little bit on it, but is there anything else that was like, wow, if it wasn't for VaynerMedia, I wouldn't know how to do that or be where I'm at right now?
Yeah, really, I think what they taught me is one, like to not always, and I'm not saying this in a malicious way, but to not always trust the platform, right? A lot of times these platforms, and they have reps, and being able to work out of VaynerMedia, you're getting top tier access to a Google, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook rep, LinkedIn rep. You're getting top access. They're coming to the offices every 2 weeks to meet with your team, figure out what the solutions are. And a lot of times it's incredibly valuable. But also understanding that these people's roles is to sell, right? So if they're pushing a certain placement, it's probably because that placement is not having a lot of activity right now. That's why there's a salesperson pushing you to use that placement. So that's something I learned, to just be cautious of the platforms, and not in the reps are malicious, but there's a lot of right now of just like set it and forget it mentality and philosophy in the media buying world, right? Like, let me put this on Facebook's CBO, campaign budget optimizer. Let me just run it. The AI is going to do itself. And the AI will do really well for you. But the AI is also interested in the overall business's organization's bottom line. Right. So to understand that you can't always trust the platform. The second thing that I knew prior to getting there, but really executing on campaigns and seeing the structures and the philosophy of the buying team, is before it used to be, tune on to Channel 4 radio and everyone heard the same message. And then it moved to TV. We're like, all right, we have cable, we got a few options, but if you and I tune into ESPN, we're going to see the same show with the same advertisement at the end of the day. And it was the idea of, this is the new TV, right? Everyone's screen is their new TV. And a lot of people talk about it in the marketing and advertising and media world of like showing diversity. Like, stuff resonates with individuals when you could speak to them on a level that connects, but also when they could see themselves in whatever the storyline is that the advertisement is showcasing, right? So it was really seeing like, all right, like we worked with a client that was based off science fiction, but we didn't only just tap into sci-fi fans and use sci-fi lingo. It was, all right, even though we have this one article that we're trying to drive traffic to for whatever reasons the client wants, right, not to reveal them, but how can we use different copy lines to speak to women and men that are both fans of sci-fi, right? How can we speak to different people in different regions based off the cultural relevance of the content, message, communication, asset itself? So this over-focusedness and this over-hyperness on targeting, but not to say like, oh, targeting is the end-all be-all, because I think creative is king. Like, if you have good creative, if your targeting is a little weak, like, it's going to rise because it's that creative. So the approach of everyone has their own device, speak to them on their own time, and also just the ability of not spreading yourself too thin. A lot of times brands will be like, hey, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat, there's YouTube, there's Google. Like, I want a little bit of everything, and let's see what works. And you can try a little bit of everything, but if you spread your budget thin, you're not going to be able to see the compounding results of your efforts. So there, I really understood the value of testing, right? Creative testing, audience testing, placement testing, but being responsible with the budget allotted to say, all right, we're going to spend 10 to 20% on testing. And the rest is like, it's time to execute. And you could always test throughout the campaign, but there I really got to understand the difference of testing with intent and then just testing without discipline. That what is the actual purpose of this test? Are we going to make a decision after this test, or is it, let's test it again with this different variable? So understanding like there's a time and place for testing and there's a time and place for execution, and then not spreading one's budget super thin across multiple channels, and the importance on talking to the individual on the other side, whether it's B2C or, right, as this topic is, in B2B, right? Understanding that there's a human on the other side of that conversation, not an enterprise. And an enterprise is just built by other humans, right? An agency, I like to say when people are like, oh, you work at that agency, what do you think about this agency? And it's, an agency is just a collection of the people. And if you have good people underneath that organization, you'll have a successful agency. Same thing with enterprise, right? It's another human on the other side. They have motives, intent, and purpose. Speak to those. Don't speak to company XYZ. Speak to John or Jimmy or Joe, who's on the other side, Marissa, who's on the other side. Speak to those people.